Okay, I'm gonna be real quick. I'm gonna do my best to be quick about it. All right. So, um, as far as people judging, dealing with people, because that seemed to be something that might be on people's minds. Uh, the way it comes across is that we do not judge. The best judge is not going to judge. That person will end up judging themselves by saying, okay, kind of like somebody stole a cookie out of the cookie jar. Alright, why did you steal it? Okay, you was hungry. Alright, what made you think that that was okay? That was okay because, or what was your motivation behind it? Not even what makes it feel okay. What was your motivation behind it? Your motivation behind those things was X, Y, and Z. Because of X, Y, and Z, this person, that person, you didn't eat this, that, okay, and you needed something, whatever you needed to survive, okay? So that is the real reason why, okay? Understanding. We know there's more than one band of information, not just in your voice and in your personality, but there's reasons behind those bands of frequency that created the ripple across their life, and what ends up happening to the person in its exterior, in its whole entirety. Meaning, like, you know how somebody can lose their job. They lost their job. Why? Because they didn't do X, Y, and Z. So justifiably, they lost their job. Okay, but it wasn't a bad thing because God had them on the back end. So keeping it, understood is that these things are for those reasons. All right. And it is what it is. So just keeping it 100. Like, this is what it's about. When it comes to being a king or a judge, that's more so what it is. But there's multiple levels. There's a lot of levels of things that ripple all the way back to your spirit guides. All the way back, bro. All the way back. So understand that when something happens, it's a lot that goes on between it. And to allow the answer to come out is that ultimately you will be the one judging yourself. All right? Not that somebody who is in a position couldn't help reveal that in you, because that is what that is for. Somebody to help reveal that in you, who is educated and understands the struggles you're in and how you got there. Okay? That's what that is. Okay? Moving forward about these bands, about being able to realize what is going on. Recently, I had an issue about something that came up about aggression. All right? Just taking what you want. Taking what you want. Is it worth it? All right? And at the end of it, yes and no. It does make life easier. It does. But there's consequences. There's certain things about that. Meaning, in every facet of life, except those things that you are owning to. To take means to take ownership. Means to have someone. So have something. And claim. To claim it. Right? If it is not yours, then in any other thing that is outside of relationships, of like husband and wife, kids, and a business that you own, if you claim a certain position in that position, meaning you own it, then you claim something in it. At that time, yes, it can be considered okay. It can. But a lot of people try to claim things that they do that don't belong to them because it is easy and the outcome is the same. But the outcome is like that because people are thinking that it's okay to force someone else into submission. It's not okay to do that. It is not okay to force someone in submission unless they are under your jurisdiction in such a way. And I'm not just talking about the regular mundane things of their life. I'm talking about somebody who can't get above a certain level after you've been helping them and they need your help, that extra push. So if they need an extra push, you are the one to take the claim. You claim that and do whatever needs to be done. At that point is how that moment is applicable. Everything under the sun, everything is good for some reason. It's basically when you play your cards. It's not something that you run around doing all the time. Which common sense, you already know this. So in that confirmation, in that you already know. That means there's no arguing with it, and you judge yourself. Facts. So if that is the issue, and that is the answer, then that is the answer. Nothing else to say. Rhythmically on beat every time because it is true. In correlation with God. Alright, hold it down. And know this. Every small frequency in balance with the larger frequencies becomes the large frequency in hypnotic rhythm. In rhythm, universal rhythm, and polarity. During all these, as you know, you think of a situation going like this. Boom, 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 boom. And getting larger. As it goes from the small, it becomes large. And then it becomes small again. And then large again. That is the universal laws and the way that it works. So something very little, if it is in you, to take it out. Faithful in little is faithful in much. And then, you know, like I talked about claiming. You know, right? If you look to help someone, then you're claiming the right to do something. So when you claim someone, you're actually encouraging someone in the good, but only for the good, not for the bad, not the coverse or the transverse of it. There is that also, that another level of the ripple up, and then what ripples underneath, going the reverse. All right, and on the reverse, you want to stay on the up and up, but on the reverse, that is a different level of thinking. Basically, it's reverse. It's things moving in reverse, and that there's applicable reasons to use that, and there's other times not to. And honestly, you don't really want to ever really use it. And I'm starting to understand that even more so. But there are moments, at least getting to where I'm understanding that taking something out. See, I notice when I pull something out, energy or information, there's some information that gets disrupted. Think about this. Think about your brain, right? There's something inside your brain that you want to take out. It's one neuron in your brain, and you want to pull that neuron out. What else could you be damaging? That is the thought process. This is why, at the point where I'm at, it's not to be really shared. Okay? It's getting to that point. But you need to know that these things are the truth. Alright? It's better to cause peace, which nullifies that in that moment. It nullifies it, and then you can increase. So my thing is about pulling and pushing. How does that principle cross over to pulling and pushing in using energy? There's a lot of things, and it's not that I don't know, it's that I do know. It's because I only know because I've done it. And yes, you can pull, you can move things from left to right. It doesn't have to be right and forward every time, because right and forward is not always the right and forward way for you, depending on the direction, right? The point of view. It could be backwards to somebody else. So in expressing the coverse of that, what it is for you may be something different for someone else, but it doesn't mean that that other person can't see it your way. And still, because there is a version of, if there is somebody who is trying to fight, right? Somebody expressed something about being in jail, all right? If you had to fight in jail to survive, is that technically bad? Yes, but in that situation, in the coverse, right, it's what that person has to do to stay alive, to get back out of it, to do right. So in that, it depends on your point of view. So this way, the correlation of the universe in your point of view will work to your advantage, and somebody who is knowledgeable of these things is able to help you in your situation. And that's the purpose of Kingdom Husband, or Kingdom, a king or a judge. Okay? That's basically what it is. And as far as Kingdom Husband, this, that, and the third, that's what a husband is supposed to do. You understand? So, is to be able to see all that. So, it's like, we got to be great. The bar is set so high. It's like here, and then we got to be up there somewhere. And then we still got to help and be humble. It's just the truth. It is what it is. If you want to call facts for facts. And that's what creates that respect and submission. Hold it down.